Imagine a girl who just left her typical corporate job to pursue her dreams while living in the city of dreams, for which that is New York City. She is strong, confident, smart, and is ambitious, and loves to travel with her best friends all over the world. You will smell like independence and confidence with beauty fragrance. So today we're going to dive down our 2 month strategy into how we can maximize our exposure and brand to those who have not heard about us yet. So let's get into it. So, we get into this. Okay, sorry. All right, beauty fragrance. So in this, we're going to discuss our target demographic, what the methods of media outlets we'll be using, and we're going to dive into each and every one of those specifically, and then hopefully we'll make lots of money and also stay beautiful. So the ones that I think are best is digital video, digital audio, social media, digital out of home, static out of home, digital banners, and print ads. So target audience, females age around 18 to 34, most being very independent, well-traveled, and just very confident and ambitious. So our first one, digital video. In a 2 month span of 2 million, I think we should split each month very equally, 165,000 per month, which will total to 330,000 after 2 months. After extensive research, I think we should heavily prioritize YouTube. YouTube is free streaming service and it has 2.6 million active users, along with personal ads with the user's cookies. Besides YouTube, we have things like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and Paramount. And the reason why I wanted to use digital video and not traditional TV is, one, traditional TV can be very expensive when it comes to using ads. And with our demographic, most of those people, or just people in general nowadays, tend to use online streaming services just due to the large variety and the convenience and just it being overall cheaper as well. You know, you can stream almost anything you want on your phone or on your computer versus TV is live and you have to be in front of your TV and, you know, make it home in time to catch all your shows. But anyways, we would ideally hope to, for something like Hulu, we would hope to put ads into shows that have a high female viewership. You can say like The Bachelor. The Bachelor is a very popular show amongst young women, or from personal experience, people like to watch Friends or The Office. So this is where online also just is very crucial into finding user personal information. So digital audio. Nowadays, no one really listens to the radio. Everyone Bluetooths on their phone. A lot of it is from, doesn't have to even be music. It could be, podcasts. Podcasts are very big ever since post-pandemic or even during the pandemic. So Spotify is the digital audio giant with 400 million active users. And roughly about almost half of those users having ad-free subscriptions, but that's okay. There's still that other 200 million that do have ads. So this is where it's very important as well. Along with Apple Music, which has 100 million active users, which is about second place in the digital audio market. And just like the earlier slide, I've put 165K per month, which equals 330K after 200 months worth of ads. And how I would split it between these two is 90% of the budget will go to Spotify just due to its high in popularity and usage, and the remaining 10 into Apple Music. And personally, everyone that I've ever known uses Spotify. So our next one, social media, same as a past two in terms of budget, 165K per month, 330K after 2 months of ads. And Facebook being the most with active users with 2.9 billion, 43% female. Instagram with 2 billion, 48% female. And then TikTok with 1 billion and predominantly with a 61% female demographic. And then Twitter with 38%. So I personally think we should use Instagram and TikTok and Twitter over Facebook. Not saying we don't use Facebook. I'm saying if we had to put it in order, it would be Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, then Facebook, just because of how high the usage is, or even have Facebook or even have TikTok be high just because of demographic. But I still think Instagram just in terms of usage. So why? Mainly just because young women love to scroll on social media and see pictures and videos, through things that they are interested in. Let's say, oh, this person is wearing a cute outfit. So why not, look through that whole feed, and because I can see myself wearing that or doing this sort of activity that I'm interested in. And another example is lately I have personally been interested in fragrances for men, and ever since then, it's everywhere. I get a YSL ad on my Instagram page. I get uh, what's it called? Dior brand on TikTok. I'll get Tom Ford on YouTube. So this is just very also just like I said earlier, the user data is also very important as well, but also anything that's relatively close. Fragrances sometimes come close with fashion as well, and lifestyle or self-care. So this isn't too far out of reach to reach said our target audience. So let's go into digital out of home, same as the others, 165K per month, 330K after 2 months of ads. So digital home ad ads are the best for exposure. I think we should target a place like New York City, mainly just because it's everywhere. Whenever you go there, you see ads almost everywhere you go, on the street, on the bus, on buildings. And I think the best place for us to target is, right in the center, which is Times Square, because that's where most people usually flood to, especially tourists, and sometimes people have to cut through there anyways. So that is, I think, priority number one. Priority number two would be, those digital boards that you would see at bus stops or things like that while people are just passing by. Because I vividly remember seeing a lot of those when I was there a few months ago. So these are just what I think is great. And the reason why I picked New York is just due to the heavy foot traffic of locals and tourists, and how New York has such a huge fashion audience as well. And like I said earlier, the fragrances are also usually associated with fashion too. So static out of home advertising. So, things you see on walls, billboards, buses, taxis, because, in this one, I still also want to use New York. Budget, same as the past others, just so we get a good even split. So I want to target areas that have usually that kind of fit that lifestyle of our target. And so with digital out of home and static out of home, very similar in terms of method and placing. So it kind of fits that said lifestyle that our target is. So, self-confident, ambitious, well-traveled, very independent. So this, I would want to heavily focus on taxis and billboards and, some and the subway station. The subway station, I think, is a great place just of how many people, use it in their everyday lives. So with these two things of ads, especially it kind of help ingrains it. You see it every day, and then maybe one day you're just interested in it. You never know. So it's just great exposure for our, the brand and us as a whole company. So digital banner ads. Digital banner ads is a little simple. More so just this is just a Google thing. So because it's a little cheaper to run over time, we're just gonna, still do it pretty evenly. Gonna do 82.5K per month and 165K after 2 months. And then this would be used through Google Ads and just typical SEO, just like I said, cookies earlier. That's a big part, while I was writing this report, I get ads from other things while, it's not really related to currently what I was on those said ads. So it's all about user preference and just user data. So print ads, I think is very great. It's still old fashioned, because it's print ads, things like magazines, you want to, people glance at things, especially when they're at checkout. You see a magazine or two, and women tend to like to see the Cosmopolitan or People magazine. So I think we should heavily focus our attention towards those two because, through our age as well, that's where people will be looking at, grocery store, coffee shop, anywhere. So our goal, is to have as much exposure and for people to see these our, brand and our product almost, being just put out there. So, magazines would just be another addition to one of them to people just seeing it in part of their everyday routine. So a quick recap. Digital video, we're going to prioritize YouTube because it's the best out there and with the highest possible rate of exposure. And then we would then focus on things like Hulu, live sports, or YouTube TV. That's a big one. And then we will focus on digital audio. So mentioned earlier, Spotify is the big one that we should really target just because of how much usage, how much active users they do through their free version, which includes ads. And then social media, we really want to focus on TikTok and Instagram very hugely, just because of the percentage of women that use those apps and platforms, and just how high the active users are. That's either about half or over half. So it's about either 500 million or even 1 billion, depending on which platform. And digital out of home, we just want to really target those high traffic areas. So Times Square, and if it's not even Times Square, New York, so like Soho, NoHo, Lincoln Ave, just the area where Fifth Saks is, that whole spot where it fits that lifestyle. And same with, the static out of home, but we'd want taxis and billboards, so people walk past it in their everyday lives. Taxis, they go everywhere. So people, you got to cross the street to go anywhere. So you're probably going to come across it at least, once, hopefully, more than once. And then our print ads, Cosmo and People. So it's just more outreach for us and more exposure and it's just more brand recognition. So people see that it's just everywhere. And then digital banner ads, this is just another part of that, something small like print ads. You want to you want to just keep having that repetition ingrained in your mind. And yeah, that is our beauty full plan for everyone to smell great and stay looking beautiful. So, with that being said, I do appreciate your time, and I hope great things will happen in the next 2 months, and I just can't wait. Thank you for your time.